Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jimmy Kimmel's first guests after suspension. Glen Powell and McLachlan, who canceled a performance to support his free speech. Jimmy Kimmel will be back on the air Tuesday night after the Charlie Kirk controversy that saw Disney suspend his show for nearly a week, and his first guests upon returning will be Glen Powell and McLachlan. McLachlan's appearance as musical guest on Jimmy Kimmel Live is particularly notable as she recently made a show of solidarity with the late-night host at a Disney event. On Sunday, she was set to perform alongside other artists at the Los Angeles premiere of Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, The Untold Story, an ABC News Studios docuseries about the historic women's music festival that she co-founded in the late 90s. The studio itself canceled the red carpet at the premiere, a move that prevented talent and executives from having to answer questions about Kimmel's suspension. But the performances were canceled by McLachlan herself. "I know you're expecting a performance tonight, and I'm so grateful to all of you for coming," she said while introducing the screening. "I apologize if this is disappointing, but we have collectively decided not to perform, but instead to stand in solidarity in support of free speech." McLachlan's album Better Broken debuted on September 19th. Powell, who will be Kimmel's primary sit-down guest on Tuesday's episode, is currently promoting a Disney project of his own. Chad Powers, the sports comedy series he co-created with Michael Waldron and stars in, premieres on Hulu on September 30th. On Wednesday, Jimmy Kimmel Live will feature Ethan Hawke and Lisa and Walter with musical guest Youngblood, and Thursday's episode will feature Peyton Manning and Oscar Nunez with musical guest Alex G. Jimmy Kimmel made his late-night return on September 23, 2025, after serving a week-long suspension that sparked a public debate on free speech. The Jimmy Kimmel Live host was pulled off the air indefinitely by ABC on September 17th for comments he made about the suspect in the shooting death of conservative political pundit Charlie Kirk. ABC made the controversial decision to bench the comedian because TV station operators Nexstar Media Group and Sinclair Broadcast Group refused to air Jimmy Kimmel Live on their local affiliates. Hollywood rallied around Kimmel, with over 400 entertainers, including Tom Hanks, Jennifer Aniston, Ben Affleck, Meryl Streep, and Selena Gomez, signing an open letter from the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, demanding the host be reinstated. ABC relented and confirmed that Jimmy Kimmel Live would return on September 23rd. Keep scrolling for a look back at what Kimmel has said about his suspension. September 15th, 2025. The controversy started when Kimmel addressed political activist Kirk's death at age 31. Kirk died at a Utah hospital after being shot during a speech at Utah Valley University on September 10th. Kimmel's initial response to the shooting was a plea for politicians to stop finger-pointing over Kirk's death. "Instead of the angry finger-pointing, can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human?" he asked via Instagram on September 10th. "On behalf of my family, we send love to the Kirks and to all the children, parents, and innocents who fall victim to senseless gun violence." During his monologue on September 15th, Kimmel addressed the arrest of 22-year-old Tyler James Robinson in connection with Kirk's shooting. Robinson has not yet entered a plea, but has been charged with a capital offense, aggravated murder, and felony discharge of a firearm, plus multiple lesser counts of obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child. He will remain in custody without bail at Utah County Jail, at least until a waiver hearing takes place on September 29th. The neon lights outside the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood buzzed with a new kind of anticipation. It wasn't just another Tuesday night taping of Jimmy Kimmel Live. It was the first show back after a suspension that had left fans questioning whether the late-night institution would survive. The marquee, bathed in red and blue glow, seemed to pulse with the words, "Welcome back, Jimmy." Kimmel, who had spent nearly a month off air following controversy surrounding his comments about political commentator Charlie Kirk, was stepping back into the arena with a mixture of defiance and relief. Social media had been a battlefield of hashtags, #CancelKimmel trending alongside #FreeKimmel. Yet tonight, all the debates outside faded as the cameras prepared to roll inside. And his first guests? Actor Glen Powell, fresh off his leading role in a blockbuster action romance, and the ever-iconic singer McLachlan, who shocked her own fans when she canceled a high-profile charity gala performance in order to stand by Kimmel on his return. The audience sensed history in the making. The monologue, a tightrope walk. The band struck up its familiar jazzy notes, and Kimmel walked out to thunderous applause. The comedian grinned, soaking in the moment, then raised his hands as if to quiet a restless classroom. "Well," he began, "you take a few weeks off and suddenly everyone thinks you've been exiled to Mars. I'd like to report that I wasn't abducted by aliens. I was abducted by corporate lawyers. Very different, slightly less green." The crowd erupted, some standing to clap, others whistling. Kimmel, always skilled at threading the needle between comedy and controversy, acknowledged the elephant in the room. "I've been told not to talk about why I was gone. Which, of course, makes me want to talk about nothing else. So here's the official version. I went on a meditation retreat. The unofficial version? Let's just say Charlie Kirk won't be inviting me to Thanksgiving dinner anytime soon." The laughter was cathartic, half a release for the viewers, half a rebellion against the forces that had sidelined him. Glen Powell, Hollywood's golden boy. Kimmel's first guest, Glen Powell, strolled onto the stage in a tailored navy suit, flashing the charming grin that had made him one of Hollywood's most bankable leading men. "You know," Kimmel quipped as they shook hands, "when I asked Glen to be my first guest back, I was worried he'd say no. But then I remembered he's an actor. He can pretend to enjoy anything." Powell laughed, settling into the chair. "Jimmy, I was honored to be asked. I figured if you were going down in flames, I wanted to roast marshmallows next to you," filled with digs about Powell's rumored romances and his recent jet fighter training for a movie. But beneath the jokes, Powell struck a serious note. "Look, man, comedy is supposed to make us uncomfortable sometimes. That's the point. We can't just bubble wrap every word." He glanced at the crowd. "I grew up watching this show. If Jimmy Kimmel can't crack a joke without a suspension, then what are we even doing?" The applause was instant, heartfelt. Powell wasn't just a guest, he was setting a tone for the night, an affirmation that Hollywood's new generation was willing to rally behind its elder statesman. Sarah McLachlan, a songbird of defiance. If Powell's charm warmed the room, Sarah McLachlan's arrival gave it gravity. The singer, draped in a flowing black gown with silver accents, walked out to a standing ovation. For many, her presence was more than symbolic. Earlier that week, she had canceled a headlining spot at a major benefit concert in Toronto, citing her wish to appear on Kimmel's comeback show. "Sarah," Kimmel began, "I think I owe you an apology. You skipped a sold-out performance to be here. I hope you at least get free parking." She laughed softly, then leaned toward him with sincerity. "Jimmy, free speech is worth more than any performance. I wanted to be here because I believe in what you do. Humor matters. It connects people. Silencing that, even for a few weeks, is dangerous." The studio fell unusually quiet, not out of discomfort but reverence. McLachlan, known for her haunting ballads and humanitarian efforts, wasn't a typical late-night guest. Her words carried a weight that hung in the air long after she spoke. Kimmel tried to lighten the mood. "You know, if I get suspended again, I expect you to cancel your Christmas tour too. Just move into the guest house. We'll do this every night." The crowd laughed, but her reply was gentle and firm. "If it comes to that, Jimmy, I will." The music, a moment of solidarity. Toward the end of the show, McLachlan took the stage with her guitar. Instead of performing her planned new single, she surprised everyone with a stripped-down rendition of her iconic Angel. The lights dimmed, the crowd hushed, and her voice filled the studio, aching, resilient, timeless. As she sang, Kimmel sat at his desk with his head bowed. The performance wasn't just entertainment, it was a statement. Each lyric felt like a balm for the bruises of censorship, for the uncertainty of what late-night comedy could still be. When the final note faded, the audience leapt to its feet. Some were visibly moved to tears. McLachlan placed her hand over her heart, acknowledging the emotion swirling through the room. Backstage ripples. Behind the scenes, producers, crew members, and even ABC executives knew they had witnessed something rare. The return show hadn't just been ratings bait, it had been a cultural flashpoint. Powell's charisma, McLachlan's defiance, and Kimmel's razor wit had coalesced into a message bigger than any single scandal. That comedy, art, and music thrive when they are unafraid. Network insiders whispered that the episode could be the highest-rated Kimmel in years, rivaling even his viral moments with Matt Damon and celebrity pranks. Social media lit up instantly. #JimmyReturns trending globally, clips of McLachlan's performance being shared with captions like, "This is what free speech sounds like." The final word. As the credits rolled, Kimmel addressed his audience one last time that night. "I don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't know if I'll get another angry phone call. Another meeting with someone who thinks comedians should be put in timeout. But I do know this. Tonight reminded me why I love doing this. It's not just the laughs, though I'll take those anytime. It's the connection. It's people like Glen and Sarah, people like you, reminding me that a joke isn't just a joke. It's a bridge. He paused, smiled, and added, "Also, Sarah, if I get suspended again, I'm coming to live with you." The studio roared with laughter as the music swelled. Epilogue, a night that stuck. By morning, headlines would declare Kimmel's return a triumph. Think pieces would dissect every word, every joke, every note of McLachlan's performance. Powell would be hailed for his candor, McLachlan for her courage, and Kimmel for walking the tightrope with both grace and mischief. But for those in the room, the memory was simpler. It was the night late-night comedy reminded America of its heart. A night when jokes, songs, and solidarity converged to push back against silence. And for Jimmy Kimmel, it wasn't just a comeback. It was proof that even after suspension, after scrutiny, after the threat of cancellation, laughter could still stand tall.